Welcome to London, motherfucker. I laugh every time. Hi guys, thanks for clicking on me. I can't sing it because, you know, YouTube is having a little tood. You know, the other day, one of my videos got flagged for using my own song. It's getting crazy out here. Changing colors because the sun is setting and it's just doing what it wants to do. Well, hi guys, I'm excited to do this video today. I feel like it's a great topic and something that'll help you. Do you suffer from palette anxiety like I do? Asking for a friend. Eyeshadow palettes, I don't know why, even though I have a YouTube channel and you think that like I have no problem buying makeup and I buy tons of it, actually like I don't want to buy that much. Like I'm happy with my little collection and I don't want to have like these giant rooms full of makeup like these girls have. Like that just, I can't breathe, where's my inhaler? I'm very selective on the palettes that I buy, and I have a few tips and tricks on how I select them and what helps me like sort them all in my brain and tell myself, no, you don't need that. Yes, this is a good one you need to get. No, you don't need that. Because it's so weird, even though there's palettes and eyeshadows that I just feel like something calls me to them. Some of them is just like, no, I absolutely don't want to buy an eyeshadow palette. I think it's like a big commitment. And then other times it's like, it's hard for me to like, I find myself just adding it to cart. I'm like, no, no, no. And I check myself and put myself in timeout. So if you have problems with eyeshadow palettes just like me, this video is just for you. And join me on my island. So the first option of buying eyeshadows is buying singles. I'll tell you the advantages of buying singles, especially if you have a YouTube channel. Singles is not attached to like a limited palette. A lot of YouTubers don't want to use palettes because they go in and out of trend, and sometimes the palettes get discontinued or they're like limited edition. Or like a Christmas edition, and then people can no longer buy it, so they don't want to use stuff in their videos that people can no longer buy. Make sense? Yeah. So when you buy individual shadows, you can just hold up that individual shadow and people can buy that one individual shadow, and they're great for using in your videos. They're also great if you know, like, I love that shade, I want to buy it in a single and just have that. One thing though is when you're buying singles online, it sounds so weird. It's like you're buying singles, like a single man, like an order bride. When you're buying singles online, when you're buying a single eyeshadow online, look at swatches, compare swatches, or go see them in person. What happened with me is I gravitated towards all the same shades, and they're like dupes for each other. Like I went to Anastasia Beverly Hills and I bought like all these singles, and then I went to Makeup Geek and I bought a bunch of singles, and they're like the same shade. They're very, very similar from brand to brand, but it's just those were the colors that I gravitated towards. When I first started buying singles, I was like, give me all the transition shades, and you know, give me a good solid black that I can use, and they all started to look like each other. So it's a little filthy because this is very well loved. This is a Z palette from Tarte that I love. It's really sturdy, and I love the leopard. It just called out to me. I always feel like my shadows are safe in here. There's a big great mirror in here. It does not stand up on its own, but when I travel and everything, I prop it up against a wall or something, and it's great. I love this thing. So here are all my single eyeshadows. So if you can see, a lot of them are like the same shade, but they're different companies. So that's where I messed up, and that's my little tip to you. So you can buy these little magnetic Z. Okay, they're great. So you can buy these little magnetic Z palettes, and the singles usually come with a magnet on the back, and they just pop in and they're super secure. Hurricane London approved. Tornado, what natural disaster is that? Earthquake London approved. Okay. Now, an exception to that rule is there's now palettes that the eyeshadows pop out. So it's like single. So it's essentially like buying a bundle. You know, you get a deal, you buy all the shadows in a palette, then you can take out the ones that you use more frequently and then put it in a Z palette. These, the Tati palette, I don't know if you guys know, but they do come out I need like a really strong magnet so I can lay a card over it, and then with the magnet, because right now I'm like really risking chipping away at the eyeshadow. Turn over the palette and I bang it and the shadow comes out. So I'm waiting for some type of solution for her to announce some type of like tool or something that they easily pop out with. That would be helpful. Another option when buying eyeshadows is that you can actually, if they're not singles and they don't remove from the palette, you can depot. Excuse me, sir. Is you can depot them from the palette if they are not singles and they don't just come out on their own. I actually did that with one of my shadows in here. This is actually a really old brand. You guys remember Max Factor? Oh man, they were awesome. I don't know if they're still around, but I used them a lot. They were one of the first makeup brands I used. So this is a black shimmery eyeshadow that I rarely ever use, and I still have it. And what you can do is use nail polish and magnets. You know, the magnets that you get off like promo magnets and you stick on your fridge. Well, you cut those out into the shape of your eyeshadow, and you use nail polish. Use the nail polish as glue, and you stick the little magnet on there, and it goes right in your Z palette. So that's another idea for you. Just throwing out a bunch of ideas for you, so you can go on your eyeshadow collecting quest as you see fit and as you choose. Helping you with your eyeshadow anxiety, because there's just so many options out there. I'm trying to break it down for you. Next option. So this is actually how I look at palettes, like eyeshadow full palettes, if I'm thinking about purchasing it and adding it to my collection. Oh, okay. Hello, son. Hello, how you doing? So this is how I select eyeshadow palettes, and this is my whole thought process, and I think it'll be helpful to many of you out there. So this is my very well loved Manny palette that he did in collaboration with Makeup Geek that I used in my first video when I transformed into Manny. You guys all know. I love this palette. So if I was thinking about buying this one, this is the way that I sorted out my brain, okay? So when I first look at a palette that I'm interested in, I break it up into sections and I figure out how wearable, how usable, how much use I'm gonna get out of it. That's how I like determine it in my brain. So I divide it row by row. So this row, I'm like, yes, I would wear it, you know, every day. Second row, yes, every day. And then the third row, I realized that only this shade was the one that scared me. So when you cover it up, it's just a natural palette with only one pop of color in it. So when you minimize that, I was like, what am I afraid of? I'm like, this one, the green, I really don't do greens. Manny, I love you, but I don't do greens. And I was like, oh, okay, well then I can do that. And then if ever I want to get like sassy, then I can reach for this. So now I've learned that I do like basics. I like very soft colors, romantic colors. I mean, if you cover this up, this looks like the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette that everybody loved, that started that whole like pinky nude romantic palette trend. And now I appreciate one pop of color because it's like it gets me to step out of my box. So I hope that helps. So when you're looking at palettes, you know, cover up the colors that scare you and then really think about it for a second, because it's so easy to buy them and just like collect them all, and there's always a new one that's being talked about. No, now this one is the palette to have. No, now this one is the palette to have. Well, that's a way that you can figure it out if you're really gonna actually use it. Next option. If you have severe palette anxiety and you think that these palettes are a big commitment, which they are, there are little baby versions being offered now by like almost every single palette that's out there, and a lot of and all of the like high-end brands. I went to Sephora, and when I found these, I lost my mind. I swatched them all. They're amazing. The quality is just the same as the large palettes. So this is also a great way if you kind of want a baby step into a large expensive palette. Buy the little one. I mean, once you have the little one, you're not going to want the large size or the regular size, because these are just so cute. Look at these. I used this in my little samples video. But how cute is these, guys? It's so cute. You can take it with you on the go. If you are the type that you always have your makeup bag with you, or on a night out of the town, I mean, I wouldn't reapply my eyeshadow, but I bring this along with me. It's just so cute and it looks so chic when you pull it out of your bag. but these are absolutely beautiful, and they're so tiny and you can just take it with you. So I know that Viseart has this, Too Faced has this, Natasha Denona even has these little baby little palettes, adorable. Morphe has it, and Urban Decay, and of course this one's NARS. And this is the Wanted palette, in case anybody is asking. I love this thing. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Please help me reach my new little goal of 1,000 subscribers. That's a new threshold that I have to hit in order to get up there and get monetized and get my channel up and running. So my new little humble little goal, please help me. But I love you guys. Thank you for all the love I received in my last video. You guys are amazing, and I can't talk about it because I get emotional. But yeah, I love you guys. Be safe out there. Social distancing. 6 feet. 6 feet rule. Take care of yourselves. Be kind. Kindness goes a long way. And tell someone today how much you appreciate them. We could all use some extra love right now. Love you guys. Bye. Brutus, it's a wrap. I got the horses in the bag.
Tonight, no rain is gonna stop us at all.